it's a rivalry game for us, for them, and it's a historic matchup for our franchise. I mean, our alumni, anybody that's competed in this game, in this rivalry, it's not a division game, but it matters a significant amount. I think our players are excited, our coaches are excited, I know our fans are going to be excited, so Sunday night should be electric.
You always get a little special feeling when you're the only one, that primetime game. I definitely get a different feeling in warm-ups and leading up to that one.
Sunday night football's fun, man. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I can't wait to see the fans. So Raider Nation, hopefully we'll be rocking on Sunday night.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
It has been far too long since we've seen Raider Nation completely in their element. And now, in prime time, Sunday Night Football, Raiders, Steelers, it's time. Good morning, football fans. Thank you so much for joining me, Leandre Fox, here in the Las Vegas Review-Journal studio. And this is Vegas Nation Game Day. The popular saying goes, there's no place like home. And after a blowout loss, the Raiders are surely ready to play at Allegiant Stadium for the first time this season. So let's talk about it in our top stories. Joining me now is Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignore. And Vinny, all eyes are on the Raiders this Sunday. It's hard to tell this early in the season, but are they ready for the moment?
They better be. They don't want to fall down to 1-2. This is a beatable team in the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least the version of the Steelers that we've seen over the first 2 weeks of the season. So it feels like it has a chance to be a get-right game for the Raiders. They're not where they need to be, and I don't think they're going to be where they need to be after Sunday. But the path to getting where you need to be should be filled with wins, not losses. So to get to 2-1, still in that part of the year where you're trying to figure out who you really are, that's imperative for the Raiders. They better be ready for the moment.
Well, thank you, Vinny. The block will certainly be hot on Sunday, and we'll check in with you later on to see what the Raiders have to do to stop Pittsburgh from dropping the world on their head in prime time. But before we do that, Adam Hill has some fast takes.
Well, thanks, Dre, for the great reference. I will see you and try to raise you one with Wheezy F Baby, and the F stands for Fast Takes. Yes, Lil Wayne performing halftime Sunday Night Football, the home opener for the Raiders, a story broken by our own Johnny Katz. It will be a big show Sunday night to go along with what we think could be some good football as well. But Lil Wayne playing the halftime show should be a big spectacle for the home opener on Sunday. You know, one of the things he says is that real G's move in silence like lasagna. Well, the Raiders' running game has been dead quiet. Haven't heard much from it at all. In fact, last week, Josh Jacobs, a historically bad performance, -2 yards. A lot of that was heavy boxes and a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line is struggling to really clear a lot of space. They'll be tested again, but the Steelers have given up a lot of yards on the ground this year. So we'll see if the Raiders can get that going. That'll be a big factor. And then potentially trying to win this game against a historic rival like the Steelers. Also, Jacoby Myers back. That should help the passing game. So we'll see if the Raiders offense can get going against a team that makes a lot of plays on defense, but they have been a little bit susceptible so far this year. Jacoby Myers should help that. We'll see if that helps the passing game get going a little bit after really struggling last week with some turnovers and some really inability to stay on the field. And here's the last one. They say the best things in life are free, not cheap. It's not going to be a cheap ticket to get in on Sunday night. A lot of Steelers fans in town. Should be a heavy contingent. A lot of people want to be there for the concert and the game. We'll be out there for you on Sunday night.
D&R House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler, the perfect bridge between internet pricing and a traditional brick-and-mortar jewelry store. We specialize in loose diamonds, natural and lab-grown, engagement rings, fashion jewelry, custom design, and jewelry repairs. We operate by appointment in our beautiful offices in the One Summerlin building, downtown Summerlin. Our great relationships with the world's largest diamond wholesalers and our low overhead saves you hundreds, if not thousands, on your purchase.
Welcome back to Vegas Nation Game Day. When you think of football foods, what comes to mind? Burgers? Hot dogs? Well, Allegiant Stadium has all that and more, doing stadium food like only Las Vegas can. Let's take a look at the tons of choices fans have as the silver and black take the field. Joining me now is Review Journal restaurant reporter Jonathan Wright. And Jonathan, we got to go to the Raiders 49ers preseason game, and you got to get a little bit of a sample of what the food offerings were this year for Allegiant Stadium. So can you give us a little bit of a rundown on what Raider Nation can expect when they're going to Allegiant Stadium for game days?
Sure. So the first thing is that there was a lot to eat and drink at the stadium. There are dozens of vendors on 3 levels. We tried, I think, 8 things. The first thing that really struck me was from Fuku Burger, which is local. The fries were very good, but they were hot and crisp and seasoned, and they came with Thai sweet chili mayo, and they were really excellent. And Tony Gimignani, the famous owner of Pizza Rock, the pizza there, although it's more challenging to create that pizza in the stadium, it's still quite good. I loved my pepperoni slice, Sicilian style. Lots of pepperoni, little cups, little pools of oil, lots of cheese, excellent.
Of the offerings at Allegiant Stadium, I know you said that there was a lot, right, to choose from, but what were some of your favorites?
So besides the Fuku Burger fries and the Pizza Rock slice, I really like the skewers from Pachamama's. Okay. Pachamama's is a project of the people who created Border Grill in Mandalay Bay, and it's a very famous restaurant.
So what should Raider Nation be on the lookout for as they go in for, Sunday Night Football, prime time, first home game of the year? What should Raider Nation be on the lookout for? What are some of, the hidden gems of Allegiant Stadium?
Well, the food is always changing, and we've already updated our story a little bit to reflect that. Beyond what I've mentioned, I would look to see what Island Grill is doing, because they have a really good noodle dish. They have it in several styles. And I would also look at the Sweet and Boozy brand ice cream, which is available at other vendors, and then they have their own stand on level 1.
Sounds like the Boozy ice cream also has the Jonathan stamp of approval. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me. And Raider Nation, be on the lookout for all of these wonderful food offerings at Allegiant Stadium when you go this weekend, Raiders Steelers in prime time. Now for those of you making your way to the sports book, we have Review Journal betting columnist Todd Dewey.
Sharp bettors are backing the Raiders for the 3rd straight week to start the season. The Steelers open as 1.5-point favorites in the Raiders' home opener on Sunday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium. But after Pittsburgh needed 2 defensive touchdowns to beat the Browns on Monday Night Football, the favorite flipped to the Raiders, who are consensus 2.5-point favorites and as high as 3 at the South Point Sportsbook. The total opened at 44, but it's down to 43 as the Raiders also have struggled to put up points this season, averaging only 13.5 per game.
And before we wrap things up, let's bring back Vinny Bonsignore. Vinny, the Raiders probably burned the tape after last week, but what can they learn from the Bills' loss, and what do they need to do to beat the Steelers?
Yeah, and I don't think they burned the tape. In fact, I think they watched it probably way too many times than the players cared to. But there were some answers on the tape. There were instances where Hunter Renfrow was open, missed tackles, bad blocking or missed blocking assignments, that if they could get that corrected, they're going to put themselves in a much better place. So even in the loss, even though you want to move on from it and it's frustrating, there were some learning aspects to that tape against Buffalo. Do you learn from it or not? Do you get better from it or not? And that's what we're going to find out on Sunday against the Steelers.
Thank you so much for tuning into Vegas Nation Game Day. Make sure you check out all of the great work from our entire team at vegasnation.com. And after the game, our crew will break down the action on the field. So be sure you check out the Vegas Nation postgame podcast as well. For the rest of our crew, I'm Leandre Fox, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Vegas Nation Blitz.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.